Hi everyone and welcome to the Radical series. Today we're going to talk about why do people abuse even when they actually love their people in their relationships. So a lot of you or would have seen at least people being abused. Some of you would even be going through abuse in your relationships. And this abuse it could be physical, emotional, sexual, even spiritual. So now you would be wondering that why would a person, in spite of love, abuse you? And it's sometimes very intriguing actually. Now, if we trace back the life of an abuser, like if you look at their early childhood and how they have been brought out or their whole family background, you'll actually realize that most of them have seen abuse at a very early age. So somewhere they would have seen either their parents abuse each other. Like in some families there would be the mother being abused by the father, or they would have directly been abused by one of the parents or a very close relative. So when they see that as they're growing up, what happens is they associate abuse with love, and that is when for them abuse becomes an expression of love. So what they do is that when in their relationships as they grow big, somewhere they start abusing as that expression. So I'll give an example of this. We had this couple who used to come for us for radical sessions. And in that couple, the wife was abused by the husband. When we traced back the childhood of the husband, we realized that all his, while growing up, every day he would see his mother getting abused by the father. In the daytime it was emotional abuse, physical abuse, and then by the end of the day he would actually see them also patch up and then be almost lovey-dovey and as if things were back to normal. And he grew up seeing that in in his family. And even though he loved his partner when he did get married, but somewhere he would repeat the same abuse story with his partner. And that's when he realized that he had this association of abuse with love, and when he worked with it, it started settling. And it's not only the abuser. In a lot of relationships we've seen that the person who's getting abused becomes so used to being abused that sometimes they even trigger the abuser to repeat that pattern for them. It's a very symbiotic relationship that they kind of develop. And if you are the one who's abusing, so the reason will be the same thing that you would have somewhere in your childhood seen either your parents abuse each other or you getting abused. And then what happens sometimes is that you are so, your whole system, your whole being is so contained with that abuse, with the frustration, the helplessness, the anger, the emotional baggage is so there within your system, then it naturally starts spilling out on people around you. Like if you have a cup and your cup is full of love, so then when the love overflows, it spills out to others and you share love. If your cup is full of anger and then it starts overflowing, you're going to spill out that anger to other people. And then in the abuse, what happens is you start then spilling that abuse to other people, and the softer targets are your children and your partners. So, how do we address this? So, if you are the abuser, it's time now that somewhere you take a step back and work and look within. It's time to work with the emotional baggage. It's time for you to clear the past effects of all the childhood abuse that you've gone through. And while working, it's very important that we do maybe physical exercise like yoga. We do a lot of breath work in the morning somewhere. We do a lot of it's a great idea to sit and meditate at least early mornings or whenever you get the time. You also need to start taking less stress in your life. So if you are very stressed out at work and occupation, find easier way out for you to start settling. And if you are hi and if you are the one who is getting abused, then we need to first work with the emotional baggage. So we have radical tools that can help you address the emotional baggage and neutralize you. That is the time when you need to also isolate yourself, because when you are going through abuse, it's very easy for you to spill that out. So that is the time when you need to somewhere sit by yourself, neutralize yourself till somewhere you feel a little more calm and peaceful, and then you begin your interaction with people around you, especially your children and your family members. The second is to work with your guilt. So you could be having a guilt of abusing people in the past, or this could be also past life reprogramming, because some of you might not absolutely resonate with being abusive in the past. So it would be then somewhere coming from your past life reprogramming. So because you have that guilt at the subconscious level, you would want to punish yourself. And how would you punish yourself? Is by inviting abuse in your life. So with R5 and radical techniques, we are going to neutralize ourselves, then neutralize the need to forgive, the need to punish ourselves, and then work with self-forgiveness. A very important thing we need to consider is that if you are being abused, you might not be aware at the conscious level, but at the subconscious level, you need to recognize that you are choosing to play the victim. And that is what you need to recognize. You might not be aware of it consciously, and you might like, why would I want to be a victim? But somewhere at the subconscious level, you choose to play a victim because somewhere that is what is helping you grow, evolve, and learn things in life. So I'll give an example. If you've been constantly abused and that has somewhere helped you to maybe walk towards some spiritual course or read some kind of self-help book or evolve and go inside, so that has a very strong association of abuse with growth. So we then work with disassociating abuse with growth through the R5 technique. Because you'll be surprised, irrespective of working with maybe your current partner who's abusing, even if that gets resolved, but if you still choose to play a victim, you will have people who are not known to you so much also, but you will invite experiences, situations, strangers also to abuse you. So it's important that we disassociate. Then we further understand the reason and the brilliance behind these abusive experiences. So there's always a brilliance or a gift or a learning in what we go through. And once we imbibe that gift, then you rise beyond the need to be abused. Another way is to understand that there could be a subconscious level hidden benefit in the abusive experience. So some of you, when get abused, you might be feeling that people somewhere when are more loving, they might be more caring, they might give you more attention, maybe your siblings or someone like that. So at the conscious level, again, you're not very aware of it, but the subconscious level, you associate abuse with hidden benefits. So we need to somewhere recognize that and work with what is the advantage or the hidden benefit in playing the victim. So we need to understand that we do not need to blame people because somewhere it is you who is empowering them. It's more important to understand what is it in you that is attracting abuse. And I'm sharing this not because I definitely empathize with people who go through this, and it is very traumatic at that moment for people to go through it. But because we have worked with a lot of students, and when we have been able to work with these steps, they have actually, a lot of them have been able to transcend and rise beyond the abusive relationships and the abusive experiences. So let us begin the journey of, most importantly, honoring yourself. Most importantly, also living with dignity. And it's important to rediscover that love and honor for yourself. Because it's, when you love yourself, when you honor yourself, it's easier to even embrace and love other people. And when you become that channel of love, you'll be able to melt away all the aggression within and outside you. So today I'll share some R5 statements that can help all of us. So sit in a place with which is more peaceful, and close your eyes. And repeat with me. I R5 my need to be abused. I R5 my need to be abused. I R5 my need to be abused. I R5 my guilt of abusing others in the past. I R5 my guilt of abusing others in the past. I R5 the guilt of abusing others in the past. I R5 my need to forgive myself. I R5 my need to forgive myself. I R5 my need to forgive myself. I R5 my association of growth with abuse. I R5 my association of growth with abuse. I R5 my association of growth with abuse. I R5 the reason behind my abuse. I R5 the reason behind my abuse. I R5 the reason behind my abuse. I R5 my unawareness. I R5 my unawareness. I R5 my unawareness. I R5 the hidden benefits in abuse. I R5 the hidden benefits in abuse. I R5 my pride of enduring abuse. I R5 my pride of enduring abuse. I R5 my pride of enduring abuse. I R5 my need to blame others. I R5 my need to blame others. I R5 my need to blame others. I R5 the brilliance in my abuse. I R5 the brilliance in this abuse. I R5 the brilliance in this abuse. And the affirmation is, I remain fair, gentle, and loving to myself and others. I remain fair, gentle, and loving to myself and others. I remain fair and gentle to myself and others.